Oh, boy. Gerard, welcome back to Toronto. Always great to have you here.
Thanks.
This movie is just beyond words. And, you know, when you read the script, you're looking at it going, yeah, it's really cool, but did you even imagine how cool this movie was going to be?
Alan, why are you talking on a phone during an interview? Why don't you walk outside? Get out. Get out. Can't get the staff. Shut up. Shut up.
Okay, take two.
Sorry.
It's okay.
My manager.
Oh, you got to get rid of that guy.
I know.
Yeah, all right.
I feel like I'm managing him.
Oh, yeah.
You want to hear? Can I tell you something? Can this be part of the interview? I don't know.
Go for
okay.
it. Colleen will
So
give me an extra minute.
We flew to Berlin for the Berlin Film Festival, okay? And he takes an Ambien on the plane, has half a glass of wine. The next minute he's behind me, and everybody's kind of laughing. And I'm going, what's he doing? And he's like this, and he starts taking his trousers down, right? And then he tries to get into the cockpit, and then he comes back, and instead of lying in his chair, kneels facing the chair. And I'm trying to speak to him, and he's like, huh. He was out of it. He wakes up, you know, when close to Berlin. We're flying from LA, maybe 8 hours later. Doesn't remember any of it.
Ooh.
You know, I mean, he'd take his belt off and everything. And I'm like, this is my manager. This is my manager. He's actually the most awesome manager, but I don't know. It's the dangers of Ambien. Yeah, they're great.
Okay, let's talk about 300.
300. I did that. I'm in that.
You are, and, well, you look smoking hot in this movie. Let's just go right there.
Yeah, why not? What do I say to that? Yeah, you're right, I am. No, I trained really hard. It's like, you know, it's like you said, I read the script and went, wow, the script was awesome and incredibly beautiful and poetic and surprisingly, what I saw was a 4-minute test piece that they'd shot showing the style of the film, so I felt like I was in on a big secret, you know, that nobody else knew about. And we were quite happy filming in our warehouse in Montreal, nobody knowing about it, you know, no big hype, no Spider-Man hype, just doing our thing, being left alone, and then waiting, and you know, until we could show it. So, but I knew that for me, this was my time to push myself further than I ever had. Trained for films before, but I go further than I ever had, because this film deserves it in a way, because it's like nothing you've ever seen or experienced, and I want it to be, for myself, like nothing I'd ever seen or experienced.
Right, but aside from the challenges of working out and everything that you had to go through in this film, you know, the green screen, everything, I mean, this is really different from what we've seen you do before, and you really pushed yourself big time for this. You must have come off it, like, when you were finished, I can imagine just like, I need a rest. Like,
So big. I mean, the thing is, once you get going, I try and get to a level and then treat that as my norm, and then go from there and keep taking steps up and pushing yourself. But I was in the middle of this film. I pumped as well. I did 6 hours a day before I started, trained at weekends. But on set, I made a decision to keep pumping. And it wasn't just for the body. It was for the feeling that it gave you, without then having to try and be strong. You just knew you were. It's a feeling and a confidence and a power. So I did that the whole way through the film.
well, he's a powerful character. You have to keep mindset.
Absolutely.
You can't walk off set and go, hey, I'm going to go have 18 beers.
Yeah, no, I know.
Even though you wanted to.
No, I don't drink, but when saying that, I don't drink, but I've always wanted to have 18 beers. So, so no more than usual.
Yeah.
But by the time we finished, oh God, it was a relief. But there's a lot to be said for in your life when you only have a couple of things to worry about. You have no time to worry about all the small shit. You know, it's like I have to train and perform. You know, and that's what I have to do. So your time is eaten up. So suddenly when you finish that, yeah, it's a relief. But then you're like, oh, I don't know, what do I do now? What do I do with myself, you know?
Yeah.
So I always find a bit of strange time readjustment, because you also move city again. So you're somewhere else. Your schedule changes. Your focus changes. And it's always a little strange. And I wasn't the king anymore.
That's right, and that's bad.
I know, it's just me.
Because, you know, it sucks not to be the king.
It hurts not to be the king.
Yeah, big time.
Big time.
I think you needed to, you know, do a sequel to this. Would you even do something like this again, or you've done it?
I think I've done it.
Yeah.
I think I've done it, although I've said that before. But I don't know. I don't know if I could get back to where I was.
It's hard.
But then again, that's my challenge. And my challenge is always like, oh, I don't know if I could do that. Like Phantom.
Mm.
You know, I'd never had a singing lesson before. And it was like, oh, I don't know if I could do that. And then, of course, that little maniac in me goes, but maybe I could. You know, so, and then that's my purpose. That's how I get my kicks.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. Any wardrobe malfunctions?
What, you know, the weird thing is, I don't want to sound like a pussy, but I had, when you're wearing that cape,
Yeah.
it's kind of heavy,
Right.
but when you put it on, you're like, no, it's good, I feel strong. But when you've had it on for 14 hours, the weight of the thing, it's just like somebody's been pushing on your shoulders for 14 hours, and you're naturally pushing against it. So, and my strap was here. So when I finished, I had knots in my neck for months, and I would get massage on it 3-4 times a week, and it was like touching raw nerves and the tightness all down there. That was pretty annoying. And when you're fighting and you're trying to move that fast and you have a swirling cape and you have 50 guys running at you and you're ready to do that, and either the back of your spear gets caught in your cape or it swings around as you go to use your sword and your sword gets stuck in the cape and you have a shield coming towards your head or a spear or that's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Did you keep the
the
leather
sandals were crazy
Yeah.
as well. We
Yeah.
kept saying, give us stronger sandals. One, I felt they kind of looked wimpy, but in actual fact, in seeing the film, they worked brilliantly, but and they were more truthful to the time. But you're trying to do all that sword fighting,
Yeah.
which is crazy enough, with trainers on in the gym, and then you put on flimsy sandals with no support. That's intense.
Did they let you keep the leather codpiece?
Yes. I actually signed one for charity through my website at gbgals.net, and they did was it gbgals? I don't know.
Yeah.
One of them, they did a convention, and they do a lot of work for charity. So they said, send us something from the film, and I thought it was funny sending my codpiece, and then I was like, maybe I shouldn't have done that. But I mean, I wore more than one in the film, so I have one for myself as well.
Well, good stuff.
Yeah, I often dress up in it at night, you know.
Good, I'm glad you've admitted that.
Yeah.
You have the most loyal fan base. I know we've talked about this before, but does it ever amaze you at how these people, you know, they take care of you and they come to all your, everything. It's amazing, Gerard.
It is amazing. So you say, does it ever amaze me? It always bloody amazes me. You know, I'm always waiting for them to find out that I'm just a dick. But but it's gone past that. It's gone past, like 300 to me has gone past just a film.
Mm.
Becomes something else, you know, and that's when it feeds off the energy, and other people feed it with energy, and it feeds them with energy, and that's how the fans work. They now are this massive, and all the websites there are becoming friends with each other, and there's so many of them, and they do things together, and they do charity work, and they form amazing friendships. They do a million things. I'm always like, where did they get that from? One of them started a radio station, you know, they have diet parts of the club that are about dieting, and it's so funny to do with me because I'm not the healthiest guy, but they do a myriad of things, and they are so unbelievably loyal and passionate towards me. And maybe it is, I don't know why, but one thing I know is I really appreciate it. Maybe that's part of it.
Yeah.
And I'll always take the time to talk to them or do something to help the charity work they do, and because, hey, rather people like you than not like you, and it's a huge, huge compliment to me that they pay that much interest.
I think it's great. So we are going to see you in another romantic drama. I know, P.S. I Love You, right?
Yes.
Yes, because I have to tell you that, dear Frankie, that scene in the doorway, I will forever watch that a million times over. So very, very quickly, can you just give me just tell me about P.S. I Love You really quickly?
P.S. I Love You, it's just gorgeous. It was written by Richard LeGravenes, who wrote and directed Hillary's Last Known Freedom Riders and Bridges of Madison County and Fisher King. He's amazing, and he's a great guy. And it's essentially, I don't know what it is, because it's hugely funny, but it's heartbreaking as well. It's like Mel Brooks doing Love Story or something. I don't know, but it is her and I in love. The first scene, living in New York, we're struggling. It's funny, it's wicked, we're falling out, but you see we love each other so much. Next minute, I'm gone. And it's really about her dealing with that and going back through the life that we had and her dealing with it through her family and friends, and I start writing her letters. It's another letter thing, dear Frankie again, that are all about her dealing with the issues that she had through her life. And whenever those letters come, you go back to those moments that we had. And it kind of all works in reverse, because then you see us first meeting in the hills of Ireland, you know, through the heather and the mountains, and just meeting in a country road like it was destiny. We were always supposed to meet. And we were so madly in love with each other immediately, like two people who were just destined to be together. And it's just, I find it strangely profound and spiritual and inspiring and hilarious and heartbreaking.
I cannot wait.
No,
I hear there's a striptease in there too.
There's a little striptease, yeah.
Good.
There was striptease and stitches. I managed to injure Hillary in the middle of that. It was about time somebody else got scarred, but I felt terrible. I was stripping, pulling off the suspender. I got stuck, snapped up, hit her head. I'm like, only you, Gerry Butler, could make a mess of things on such a high level. But you know, she was amazing about it. She was amazing about it. I can't think of any other person that I've worked with who could have been so cool about what happened. She was more concerned about me not feeling bad about what just happened to her, which blows me away.
Well, thank God, and you know, like I say, always a pleasure to talk to you. Best of luck
too.
with everything, and I'm
Thank
sure
you.
we'll see you back again
Yes.
soon. Thank
All
you
right.
so much.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay. Do you mind signing the book for my boys?
Sure,
Okay,
sure.
that's